Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening, I'm Jordan Ferris, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. More than 2,800 employees at General Motors' Oshawa plant will soon be looking for work. According to General Motors, there is no new assembly plan at the plant past 2019. Durham Member of Parliament Aaron O'Toole says closing the plant will have an impact on the community and other economies across southern Ontario. GM announced it will be closing 4 other plants, including 2 in nearby Detroit and 1 in Ohio. GM CEO Mary Barr says the closure will save the company $6 billion annually and will make it more agile, resilient, and profitable in the future. Barr says, quote, "We recognize the need to stay in front of changing market conditions and customer preferences to position our company for long-term success." And here is an early look at the weather. Right now it is 0, and tonight it is going to dip to -3, but it will feel much colder with the wind chill. We'll be back a little later in the show with a look at your 3-day forecast. Walk Wheel Windsor is reaching out to the public to improve active transportation in the city. Jim Murphy explains.
As a historic leader in the Canadian automotive industry, Windsor was built for cars. Today, the city is trying to improve opportunities for the development of other forms of transportation. Launched earlier this year, Walk Wheel Windsor is an 18-month program dedicated to improving active transportation, which includes biking, walking, and public transit.
I think there's an overall shift to people becoming a little more friendly for the environment, so some of those options got to include whether it be active transportation or transit systems, so we need to make sure that all the opportunities are accounted for.
The Walk Wheel Windsor team hosted a community roadshow at the Windsor International Aquatic Centre on Monday, where Windsorites were invited to voice their suggestions on how to improve active transportation. The goal for Walk Wheel Windsor is to have 25% of all commuting be by walking, cycling, and public transit by 2041.
I think it's a good idea, first off, but I think there needs to be a faster time frame.
You can help improve Windsor's active transportation by taking the Walk Wheel Windsor online survey at walkwheelwindsor.metroquest.ca. For MediaPlex News, I'm Jim Murphy.
The Gordie Howe International Bridge construction is underway, and Ryan Percy is here to give you an update.
On Friday, November 23rd, the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority held their annual reporting presentation. $200 million has been invested in the Canadian Port of Entry, and $150 million has been invested in the U.S. one. All of the Canadian property required has been obtained by the WDBA, and 96% of U.S. properties have been either acquired or under court order to vacate. Jerry Lawrence, a corporate strategic manager with Rickman Enterprises Group, said the annual report meeting answered all of his questions.
I think the new CEO, I think he said he started in July. I think he addressed most of the questions directly. I posed a question about inclusion of First Nation companies and Detroit-based companies, and I think he addressed it.
More than 20 disadvantaged business enterprises have been hired to work on the U.S. project site, and almost 600 workers from 50 companies are trained to work at the Canadian Port of Entry. The chair of the WDBA, Dwight Duncan, says the bridge will help improve the economy in more than just trade.
There are now people that are being hired from out of the community. They're coming in, they're either renting places or buying places. And in turn, they'll go shopping, they'll go out to restaurants, and literally it's going to be in the thousands of people. So that multiplier effect will be felt throughout the economy.
With the bridge set to be open to the public in 2024 and confidence at such a high level, it seems like the Gordie Howe International Bridge is set to be a new artery to let fresh blood into Windsor and Detroit. For MediaPlex News, I'm Ryan Percy.
Once in a while, we all need a kick in the glass. Tsunami Glassworks held an open house to show people how they create unique sculptures. Thomas Miko reports.
Have you ever wondered how modern blown glass sculptures are made? On November 24th, Tsunami Glassworks held its open house and welcomed the public. People could stop by to see how the glass blowing process works and ask questions on the go. If you want to upgrade your home with modern blown glass, Tsunami Glassworks is the place to go. Kristian is one of the co-founders of Tsunami Glassworks.
We started it originally on Mercer Street here in Windsor, and then moved about almost 4 years ago to this new location, which is a larger facility. We basically cater to a lot of commercial firms, so most of the stuff that we do is commercially driven, a lot of installations in condos and hotels, and we ship our work all over the world, really.
If you want to experience how the glassblowing process works, stop by on December 15th for the Balls of Fire glassblowing workshop. For the MediaPlex News, Thomas Miko reports.
The annual Windsor Goodfellows paper drive wrapped up on Saturday. Did you know the drive raises nearly half of its annual income over the 3-day event? Alicia Leonard joins us with more.
Many people in the Windsor area are familiar with the annual Goodfellows paper drive, but what some don't know is what the money goes towards when the drive is done.
The Goodfellows have a year-round food bank. It used to operate every other month, but now it's open monthly. And just before Christmas, they give out larger boxes of canned and dried food, toys for children, and provide gift cards to use at grocery stores to purchase additional fresh groceries. Bruce Tate, chair of the paper drive, says around 5,000 people will sign up for the service before Christmas. But the focus is year-round assistance.
We're starting something new in January. It's going to be carrying fresh milk, eggs, and margarine. We have 3 large fridges that we just had installed, and that'll just be something to add to people's diets.
The Goodfellows have a breakfast program in 9 schools that feeds around 1,500 students every morning. The not-for-profit also provides around 1,500 pairs of new shoes and boots to children in JK to grade 8 annually. Gilbert Barrichello, president of the Windsor Goodfellows, says these 2 services are unique to Windsor.
A student with cold feet or improper shoes in the classroom isn't going to be learning very much.
The Boots and Shoe program has now expanded to Tecumseh and LaSalle. Barrichello says both programs will be expanding further in 2019.
The Windsor Goodfellows have been in operation for over 100 years, and thanks to the generosity of Windsor-Essex, their programs are continuing to expand. For MediaPlex News, I'm Alicia Leonard.
A World Law Conference on Indigenous Rights took place earlier this week at the St. Clair College Center for the Arts. Yasmina El-Zafar has more details.
Hundreds of people gathered in festive atmosphere, most of them wearing traditional costumes, represent the indigenous peoples. The World Conference centered around discussion about rights of the indigenous people in the legal system. It brought together judges, community leaders, and educators working to find ways to apply indigenous rights and laws.
One of the things about law is that everybody thinks colonial law is law, but also we're saying that indigenous law is also law, so we need to empower it.
What I really would love to tell people to come along, to share, to learn and take the experience of gathering ideas, cultures, legal constructs, constitutional frameworks, and putting them all together.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Yasmina El-Asfar.
Human trafficking in Ontario is a growing concern. This week, an information workshop called Learn How to Protect Yourself from Human Trafficking was held at St. Clair College. Oliver Zhao has the details.
On Wednesday, November 14th, Staff Sergeant Bray Scalo visited the college South Campus to present an information session about human trafficking. He discussed in detail how human trafficking works and how to guard against it happening.
The best way to protect themselves or loved ones from human trafficking is to take an active role in what your family and what your community is doing. And we encourage concerned citizens and family members to take a real proactive role in raising our youth.
I'm going to talk to SRC that we have an open house right now, like this Saturday. So I'm going to plan some seminar over there during open house because there will be parents here.
By reporting any suspicious activity that is a potential human trafficking case. For MediaPlex News, I'm Oliver Zhao.
Windsor Endowment for the Arts invited the public to the brand new SHO studios at their annual general meeting. Cindy Zong was on the scene.
The AGM was held on November 12th at 6 to 8 Monmouth Road. At the AGM, visitors toured the studios and listened to the sounds of a Steinway grand piano. The evening event featured a showcase of visual art, theater, music, and prose.
This event tonight is celebrating arts and culture in Windsor-Essex. It's celebrating We alumni.
I was the winner of the 2014 Elizabeth Havelock Award, and that award allowed me to create one of my many one-person performances.
They plan on having a fundraising gala in 2019. For MediaPlex, I'm Cindy Zhang.
Are you stressed out? Trisha Kundu explains how it can help you in this Health Minute.
Hello, I'm Trisha Kundu, and this is your Health Minute. With Christmas holidays just around the corner and semesters coming to a rapid end, are students ready to finish this semester with ease? According to Statistics Canada, 23% of students under the age of 15 are experiencing extreme stress, and this number is rapidly rising with age. Stress can lead to various complications like high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. Here are some tips for students experiencing pressure and stress due to their coursework. Although this may sound difficult at first, but making a study schedule or assignment planner will help in organizing your daily work. Lowering your goals might not be a bad decision, especially with huge workload. Following a proper diet and getting proper sleep will be the right decision. Try to remain balanced during exam period. Try to find something interesting while you're learning, which can be sports, painting, or any other co-curricular activities. Well, good news is students will have almost 3-week break for the holidays, starting from December 14 to this January 7. Thank you for watching. I am Trisha Kundu, and you have been watching Health Minute.
Windsor is a caring community, and that fact is highlighted in this edition of 3 Minutes With.
Hello, I'm Trisha Kundu. Today I'm spending 3 minutes with Jessica Hudson. Jessica is a vulnerable sector coach with Windsor-Essex Compassion Care Community. Hello, Jessica.
Hi.
So what is your role there?
So my role at the Windsor-Essex Compassion Care Community is the vulnerable person sector coach. So what I do is I work with the most vulnerable people of our society in Windsor and help them build the connections within the community.
And what would you say is the purpose of your role?
The purpose of my role is to help those who have found themselves in circumstances that have left them vulnerable and isolated, and help them reconnect and make those connections, because everybody needs somebody. We all need those connections as humans, and people, when they find themselves isolated, feel like they've hit that wall. They no longer connect out in the community, and our role is to help work with them to make those goals better their quality of life.
Mm-hmm. And what impacts you or inspires you to perform your role at WEC?
What inspires me to do my job is just helping. At the end of the day, knowing that I'm helping the people that essentially can't help themselves anymore, or hit that brick wall and just don't know what our community has to offer, because Windsor is such a great place. And our community offers so much in the way of social connections. And at the end of the day, helping these people reconnect and make Windsor great again is what inspires me.
And how do you create awareness in Windsor about the programs or about your role at WEC?
So we create awareness. We do a lot of community outreach. We do a lot of partnerships within the community of the other programs that are helping the same populations. We are volunteer-based, so we have volunteers that are out connecting with people as well, and just spreading the word of what social connections can really do for people.
Mm-hmm. And are there any events or any annual functions that are being held to create this awareness?
We do. We hold ice cream socials and volunteer-based events to spread the awareness of what volunteer bases can do for the people of our community. We have a citizens table meeting once every 6 months for all of our community partners to come and see really the impact that we've made and where we're at with the program and how moving forward what we're doing.
And who are the community partners?
So we work hand in hand with a lot of the community partners with CARP, the Downtown Mission, with all of those types of organizations, the Windsor-Essex County Health Unit. With partnershiping with them, we can work together and really build what we do with people.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say is the community response?
The community response is great. The people that we have assisted have really given us positive feedback on what we're doing, and they've really shown us that, you know, just that little bit of backbone and having that cheerleader behind you can really better the quality of life for people.
Well, thank you for watching. I'm Trisha Kundu, and this is 3 Minutes with Jessica Hudson.
Hi, I'm joined with Marisa Gatfield from Canadian Blood Services. She's here to talk about the final student blood drive at St. Clair College of 2018. Marisa, what can students do to get involved?
Well, the blood drive is on campus, on the main campus, this Thursday, November 29th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're hoping to collect 58 units of blood. So we need around 75 to 80 students to come out and donate blood. So people can certainly download our Give Blood app and register a time that's convenient for them. You're welcome to walk in. If you're able to, even bring a friend.
All right. Now, if a student wanted to pre-enroll or pre-sign up, how would they go about doing that?
Right. So they can certainly go online and download our Give Blood app. I know that we had some students out there today with a sign-up sheet trying to get students to sign up. Right now we have a handful of students that have signed up, so there's plenty of room to come out and give. If you're curious about whether or not you're eligible to donate, I would highly recommend that you visit our website at blood.ca. We have an eligibility quiz that you're welcome to take, as well as the ABCs of eligibility. So what that is all about is from the letter A to the letter Z, it lists the most frequently asked questions and answers. So for example, tattoos and piercings is popular. So if you've had a tattoo or piercing in the last 3 months, you are eligible to donate.
All right. Well, thank you, Marisa, and hopefully everything goes well. Yes. And we'll head off into our next package. Cancer is more than one disease, and this weekend some of the region's best minds gathered to share their knowledge on advancements in cancer research. Mariana Yanekovic reports.
The Windsor Cancer Research Group hosted its 4th biennial International Cancer Research Conference at Caesars Windsor on Saturday. The purpose of the conference was to share the findings on cancer research and to facilitate collaboration.
It's a great way for us to bring guests from outside the community to come into Windsor and learn about the types of research that we're doing here locally.
Researchers, scientists, students and healthcare professionals from Windsor-Essex as well as neighboring communities of London and Michigan came together to share the latest research and discoveries.
I think one of the greatest things about a conference like this, it gives you brand new ideas and energy, and it helps to advance the things that are already going on, you know? And also by creating those collaborations, it allows us to take cancer research in Windsor and take it to the next level.
The conference also presented an opportunity for students to show their studies.
Noticed over the last 4 conferences is that we have had an increase in participants, and those are both the researchers, the clinicians, as well as the students coming down and sharing the research findings.
Veronica Dubois is one of students who received the award for the best poster according to the People's Choice.
I'm a student at Western University in London, Ontario, and I'm using CRISPR-Cas9 genome editing to add reporter genes to cells so that we can non-invasively track them over time in vivo and learn more about disease mechanisms such as cancer metastasis.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Mariana Yanekovic.
Turning to weather, bundle up and throw another log on the fire because it's cold outside. Tomorrow, there's a chance of flurries with a high of 2. Thursday will be cloudy with a high of 1. And Friday, we can expect a chance of rain or flurries. Last week, many people took advantage of Black Friday deals. But as Cassidy McNay explains, some people in Windsor got an early start.
It's holiday shopping season, and local crafters and artists are urging shoppers to buy handmade and local. According to Statistics Canada, Canadians spent over $10 million in December at large retailers, and the number is growing yearly. Local shop owners are hoping to boost the local economy by encouraging shoppers to spend in their community. Anissa Noakes is the captain of the Rose City Etsy team and has organized a mistletoe market at Walkerville Brewery, where local crafters come together to sell their creation.
Well, I kind of challenge everybody in the last couple years if they can shop 100% locally. There's a lot of new businesses that have come about in the last 5 or 6 years that make it easier to shop local and support our own community. So I started putting on these shows for Etsy Canada last year, and it's bringing sort of the local community, local handmade community closer to people.
These holiday markets sell anything from knitted garments to coffee and even artwork. Tiffany Budway is one of the vendors from Windsor by Spotvin and sells locally made clothing.
So right here we have all locally made clothing, all designed in Windsor, made in Windsor. Everything here is representing the city, so we have like Rose City logo and different things, like we have the train from the waterfront and all that.
Take a look and see if you can put any local presents under your tree. I'm Cassidy McNay reporting for the MediaPlex.
The University of Windsor celebrated their first tree lighting ceremony at the CAW Student Center on Wednesday. Rajit Kashal was there to see the lights go on.
Cold temperatures have arrived and exams are around the corner. The University of Windsor warmed things up, lighting the mood for students with presidential tree lighting ceremony. Interim President of University of Windsor, Dr. Douglas Neal, lit up the massive 24-foot tree, signaling the beginning of the winters.
The UWSA and I flicked the switch on the holiday tree.
The center is completely booked for the rest of the year with events like silent audition, holiday bake sales and vendors booth. For MediaPlex News, I'm Rajat Kaushal.
Have you heard of the Saints? Well, one of them dropped by our studio today. Let's watch.
Hi, I'm Cassidy McNay, and you're watching 3 Minutes with Jeff Burrows. You may know Jeff as a drummer from the band The Tea Party or The Saints. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi.
So you have a concert for Christmas upcoming at Caesars Windsor. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it's the 5th year in a row that we've been at the Coliseum at Caesars. It was a project that we started 8 years ago in the office of one of the college VPs, Ron Sigan. And it was something that Jody Rafool and I were brought together with to raise funds, raise awareness of both the college and local charities. So at first, it was an idea that should we just do a show, or could we make it bigger, and so on. So we thought of maybe recording a CD, and it was a big prospect, but we ended up doing it, and since then we've done 8 CDs. So every year we do a CD, and then we pair it with a big show. And now that it's at Caesars, it just seems to grow exponentially every year, from musicality to production to even the money raised. So this year we're intending on, and we're primarily with food banks now, and this year we intend on donating, you know what, I can't tell you that. I don't want to give you too many breaking news things, but yeah. So we're upping the game a little bit this year, which is good.
So do you guys play Christmas songs at this event?
Yeah, so it's very different. First of all, it's an all ages event, very family friendly. We're fortunate enough to be able to work on that stage. There's literally millions of dollars worth of gear, production, everything. So when we go there, we're afforded the opportunity to rehearse there for 2 or 3 nights, bring in different aspects and guests into it. And so far as the song structure, I think what people like about it most is that you're probably, gosh, I would say 65–70% Christmas songs, and the other songs are songs of inspiration or hope, not a la gospel music, but just anything that lifts up your spirits and preps you for that Christmas holiday, right?
So what's your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite Christmas song? Gosh, there's so many Christmas songs. I could tell you my least favorite Christmas song. Probably our rendition of We Three Kings, because it sounds very much like something off Led Zeppelin 1, but it comes across very rock and roll and heavy, but the sentiment's there so far as the lyrics are concerned.
What are some other musical influences you use?
In the Saints, For our albums, it's really nice. Every January, when everything is calmed down, we get together and we have a drink, and we go to an undisclosed pub, and we discuss what we're going to do for next year's album. And usually the album starts being recorded in April, so it's a Christmas record in April. But we just get together, we start talking about different bands and who inspires us and what the words can do for that particular song. Like, should we focus on it? Should we bring in a guest? How to up the game every year. So the inspiration has to not only live within the recorded music, but it has to translate live, because lately I find we're doing anywhere from 6 to 7 songs off the new record in the live show. So we have that kind of set in stone that we want to really kind of, push those songs out for the new show, because you want it to be different every year.
And how much rehearsal does that take to complete both the CD and put on the show?
So the CD has become pretty easy, which is wonderful, because at first we didn't know each other all that well. I mean, we knew each other as friends and band members, but a band is a different dynamic, and it becomes like a family. And now we've finally become this family where you go into the studio and our producer, Martin Back, who's just a phenom, puts everything together, and it's boom, 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 and it comes out sounding pretty. And then everyone we decide, I quite literally sent out an email this morning, what is our set list looking like? What is everyone thinking? So again, at least 5 to 6 songs off the new record, and then of course fan favorites, and then some that have to acknowledge the guests that we'd like to bring in.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, I'm Cassie McNay, and this has been 3 Minutes With.
Christmas came early for a couple of our furry friends at Devonshire Mall. Kristian Beaudoin reports.
There was a big buzz at the mall that brought both shoppers and their pets to gather around. But what could have been about this close to the holiday season? Pet owners came to Devonshire Mall with their animals to get a portrait taken with Santa Claus. Dogs and cats waited eagerly for their opportunity to be a part of this year's family Christmas photo. Karen Neforis is the marketing director of the Devonshire Mall and had overseen the festive event.
An opportunity for families to come out with their pets after hours and have a picture with a family photo or just a pet photo with Santa.
After the early closing hour at the mall, the pet owners lined up to snap their perfect Christmas photo with St. Nicholas in the mall's new Winter Wonderland display. Pet owners could then purchase either a single photograph or one of the packages available for sale, taking home a memory the owners or animals won't soon forget.
This is the 3rd time we've done it at Devonshire. It's been successful every year, as you can see.
With a pet photo from Santa, even your dog will be yipping and barking for joy this holiday season. From MediaPlex News, I'm Kristian Beaudoin.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jordan Ferris, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.